Andrew Kozak is here with another look at your forecast on this. It's going to be a decent Sunday. A little rain coming in, but
the closer to the shore you are, the better chance that you're going to have the rain. The further inland, you're going to have to wait until a little bit later on. And that's good for Game 5.
Right.
Yeah, which is where we're going to start things off right now. In fact, before we get there, I do want to talk about the now, and that's going to be helped out by some of you with our Eyewitness News weather watchers. When we're taking a look outside, a lot of you are sending in some of your observations. Cloudy skies. It's not that great out there, but we are going to be looking at mild temperatures. Ed Connor sent this in yesterday. Yeah, look at this. Across New Jersey, we've got some really nice colors starting to bloom. I will say, looking at some of the peak fall foliage, it's going to be mainly to the north right now that we're peak or past peak, the Lehigh Valley, Poconos, but we still have at least a couple weeks left here in Philly and the Jersey Shore. We'd love for you to join us here on Eyewitness News by being a weather watcher. It's easy to sign up. Just go to cbsphiladelphia.com/watchers. All right, Game 5 is today. First pitch at 2:37, 63, overcast skies. I'm not going to promise you a completely rain-free game experience, but it does not look like we're going to be looking at any heavy downpours until well after the game is over. Still, keep the umbrella handy. Make sure you have a poncho. Make sure you have either a plastic bag or something to cover, especially afterwards. A lot of people out celebrating. Yeah, you're going to need at least a little bit of that protection as we get into the evening hours, especially later on tonight, closer to 9-10 o'clock. This is what Center City looks like right now with a cloudy sky. We have temperatures starting off mainly in the 50s. Now, here's the coastal low. We have already a couple of areas of bands that are trying to make its way through, and you can kind of see eventually the rain will make itself onshore, but because we have dry air back toward the west, some of the heavier stuff is staying in place. Now, eventually, as the low starts to move a little bit closer to the north, it's going to be areas like the New York City metro, Long Island, and eventually New England that does get the bulk of the moisture. But we're eventually going to see some of that even move into areas like Philly and even up toward the Lehigh Valley later on tonight. Where the clearing skies are, we're in the 30s and 40s. Where we're in the 50s, that's where we have the cloudy skies. Almost 60 degrees, Wildwood over toward Georgetown, 58. Right now, we'll make it up to 64 for your high today. Again, game time, first pitch, 2:37. I'm looking at potentially a couple of drops on the windshield throughout the game. Again, I don't call the delays or the cancellations, but I'm really thinking and anticipating that it's going to be more of a Jersey Shore afternoon event before we start seeing that rain move inland. Here's 2:30 Futurecast. Again, this is an estimate of what we're going to be looking at, surrounded by a couple of light showers and sprinkles. By 4 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures that will be in the 60s under cloudy skies and a couple of scattered sprinkles. Watch what happens by this evening, though. By 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that's when we get that rain coming in. By 10, we could even have some heavy downpours. That'll be overnight. Little bit of patchy fog, not out of the question either. By noon on Monday, already clearing skies as the rain becomes a bit of a memory. Now, we're not going to be looking at a lot of rain, of course, into the beginning of the day. By the overnight and into the afternoon, that's when we'll start to see the rain get into really, we'll say, a half an inch to an inch territory when all is said and done by the end of the day on Monday. Precipitation chances also increase by Wednesday with our next chance of rain. All right, so here's a look at your 7-day forecast now as we get into your week ahead. Mild temperatures. Look at Monday, 69 degrees. A little bit of sun toward the end of the day. 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday, there's that chance of showers. By the end of the week and into next weekend, the only real cool down is going from the 70s to the 60s. Overall mild with kind of a mixed week ahead, however, but not too terrible. Again, we're keeping all eyes on today's game.
all right. Thank you, Andrew.